Hello friends. Now let us take up the concept number 2, 2a.2, variable and data types. In the previous concept, I explained to you what is variable. Computer variable. Variable is the named memory container in which a constant is stored which may be replaced with another value. That is variable. And data types. Actually, why data types are required? Before that, uh, I refer the previous example what I explained. You invited 10 guests for dinner, 10 guests for dinner, and they are 5 adult people, 3 children, and 2 babies. 5 adults, 3 children, and 2 babies. Why you are making this classification? Just apply. Here, everything, every element, you have to analyze with a analytical brain. You have to see that then only whatever reasons you have in the real life, almost same reasons are applicable for computer concepts also. Now 10 guests you invited for dinner. So simply 10 into 10, 100 units of food you can prepare. But because of this classification, you never prepare 100 units of food. That you know. Suppose adult person consume 10 units of food. Let us say a child may consume 5 units of food, and a baby may consume 1 unit of food. If you take this one, 50, 15 to 67. So because of this classification, what benefit you got and all that I need not explain. You know it very well. The same logic is applicable for variables also. Actually, there are two principles. For regardless of the nature of the data, nature of the variable, allocate same amount of space. For any data item, allocating same amount of space. That is one way. Other one is depending on the nature and size of the data, allocating different amounts of space. Once again I repeat, for all types of data items, allocating same amount of space. That is one alternative. What is the second alternative? Classify all the data items depending on their nature and quantity and allocating different amounts of space. That is second alternative. Which alternative is prudent? 100% second alternative is prudent, because why I am telling on your behalf, you are following this principle in real life. So the same principle, you are making classification, you are not doing 10 into 10, 100 units of food, you are classifying them and you are preparing around 67 units of food. That's why the same logic is extended for data types. The second alternative is prudent. Okay. Once you are convinced with this logic and prudency, now let us come to data types. If you take data items and all that, their nature is different, their sizes are different. Suppose let us take your age. Your age, maximum how many digits may be there? Maximum. You take maximum possible age of the human being you take, never be more than 3 digits. Okay. And what about your cell number? These are 10 digits. This is a age is a whole number, and your cell number is also a whole number, an integer value. Is it a prudent practice to allocate same amount of space for both? Definitely say no. Is say no. And that is the prudency. That is one way, because size. Here what is our consideration? Size of the data. So allocating same amount of space is not prudent. Second one is nature of the data. If you have to understand the nature of the data, I give you a different example. Class number, section, height. These are your data items only. Class number, you are belong to 12th class, is always, it is always a whole number, an integer value. And as far as section is concerned, normally it is represented with a single character, A section, B section, C section, D section, like that and all that. This single height always like this, because even it is your height is exactly 5 also, you should not represent it like this. Its nature is 100% whole number. Always your class number is 10, 11, 12, like that and all that. Never be 12.5 or 12.1 and all that. Here, as far as age is concerned, even it is 5 also, you have to represent a 5.0, because after few months it varies. It may be 5.1. That's why its nature is a real. This is a real, what you call in mathematics real number or fractional number, whatever you call integer number. It represents whole values. And this is a single character, and this is known as character in programming languages. Okay, so basically we are classifying all the data items into 3 types. First one is whichever is representing the whole numbers, that is integer. As far as whole numbers integer is concerned, you have to take it in a broader way. That is actually mathematical meaning. Whole number of minus value, negative values, 0 as well as positive values. All are integer only. Don't take only positive values. Okay. Character means it represents single character, and it should be actually, as a matter of rule, syntax rule, all single characters only you have to take. Those should be enclosed by single quotes. So character means you have to take in a broader sense. In the previous class, previous topics I explained. This is also a character. This is also a character. This is also a character, and this is also a character, blank character. And you get a doubt. Actually, if I write 5, what is it? What is the type? You definitely say it is integer. And I have written 5 here. Again, you are confused. Now, if these are enclosed by single quotes, single quote is a C operator, already explained in escape sequences, that you just recall. So, now if it is enclosed by single quotes, then you have to take it as 5 character. 5 character means 5 symbol, you are taking into consideration of symbol only. This is 5 value, that is integer. If you don't enclose with single quotes and all that, that is value 5. What you think of 5 and all that are 5, that constant. This one is different. If it is enclosed by single quotes, you have to take it as 5 symbol. One symbol we are using to represent 5, that 5 symbol. That is the difference. These are minute differences. You must strictly follow that and register in your brain. You should not be confused. Next, as far as real numbers are concerned, in programming languages, these are called floating point values. You should not use real. Real means just remember that, nothing wrong. But whenever you are using it, you must call it as floating point value. Actually, it looks somewhat odd. Floating point value means, what is that? You may get a doubt. Actually, in this context, we never write fractions like this. These vertical notations we never write. We write decimal notation only. How you write normally? 123.45 or otherwise 12.678, like that you write. Actually, let us take a value. That is 12.3 3, 4, 5. Now you are giving a value to this. Now just I am changing one point. I moved the point from here to here. Then what is value? 1.2345. Suppose I moved this point to here, 123.45. I moved this point here, 1234.5. How we are changing values? In this case, now I have given 4 examples. How you are able to change values? Simply moving the point, their values are being changed. That's why it is called as floating. By floating the point, we are changing the value. That's why in this context, for the programming languages are concerned, it is not called as real number, it is called as floating point value. By this discussion, what we understood, it is a prudent practice to classify the data types. For that purpose, basic classification, we have made the basic classification like this: integer, floating point. Floating point means nothing but what you call real. In mathematical terminology is real. Next, character. Basically, we are classifying all the data types into three types. And actually, for representation, for encoding purpose, you cannot write this much big terms and all that. So it should be simplified. That's why C language simplified, not only C language, in other advanced languages like C++, Java, C#. In all languages also, certain coined words are created. These are called keywords. That means a language device are coined certain terms and all that, and they have a specific meaning and purpose. We must use them for that purpose. If you want to write integer, you must write int only. You should not write this one, because your system cannot recognize that. Your C compiler does not recognize this. So you must represent integer as int, floating point as float. All these keywords are in lowercase. Already I told you, most language oriented terms are in lowercase, except a few. All are in lowercase. Next, character is represented by char. So whenever you have to represent these types, you have to, in programs, for coding purpose, you have to use these terms. And example already explained to you. Integer represent whole numbers of negative or 0 or positive. All come under integer category. Second one, floating point. Floating point means real numbers. We never use vertical way and this way. 0.1, minus 1.2. Here plus and minus also applicable. 12.34. These are the examples. And as far as character type is concerned, character means you have to take in a broader sense. Don't limit to alphabets. This is alphabet, this is a digit, and this is a symbol, and this is a blank character. But if you have to represent character, means they should be, that character should be enclosed by single quotes. Otherwise, now 5 if you write, by default it is treated as an integer. Whenever you put this one, it is treated as a character. 5 character. This is 5 value. The difference is there. That minor difference you have to take into consideration. Thereafter, size. Actually, for all our botheration is only for the sake of size, because we are not preparing same amount of food for all categories of guests. Adults different amount, children different amount, and babies different amount of food. In the same way, for integer, 2 bytes, it takes 2 bytes of memory space. A floating point, it takes 4 bytes of memory space, and character takes 1 byte. 1 byte, that you must remember. And finally, what I would like to tell you, data, whatever data we use on a computer, that is stored in the computer memory in the form of variables. We never loosely dump it. In the form of variables we store. Variable means a named memory container. In the named memory container you have to store the data, and before choosing the variable you have to select the data type to which it is appropriate. That is the that's why we are focusing on data type. Suppose you are talking about your class number. Class number means, now I am telling you regarding your class number I am talking about, and I am talking about your section, I am talking about your height, I am talking about your age. 4 data items I have taken. Now come to this point. Now for these variables you have to declare. Before that you have to choose the data type. Now class number. Class number is always 100% integer value. So its data type is int. Section. Normally it is represented as A section, B section, C section and all that. So it is always a character, char type. So it takes 2 bytes. It takes 1 byte. Height, even though your height as on the day exactly 5 also, you should not take it as integer type. It is not prudent, because after a few months your height may be 5.1. Then that's why your height, what is the right type? Float. It requires 4 bytes of memory. Next, age. As far as age is concerned, you may tell int, but some prudency is required in that. Actually, except on your birthday, on the day of your birthday, all other days your age is a fractional one. Suppose your birthday is, let us say, on May 1st. Today May 12th. So this is 21 years 12 days. It is a fraction. But as a matter of practice, we always represent a completed number of years as our age. So 21 years. So as a matter of practice it is integer. But a specific program, a situation demands your correct age. That means, for example, for minimum age for the admission of 10th class. 10th class is 15 years 6 months, 15.5 years. Suppose this is the condition. 15.5 years means 15 years 16 months. That is the minimum age requirement. If you have 15 years 4 months, you are not eligible. So in such case and all that, declaring this one with int is not prudent. Then because this domain, this program demands it, then you have to take it as a float. In this way, there are no hard and fast rules. Depending on your requirement, you have to use the right data type. So that is the relation between variable and data type. Once again, I conclude that we store our data items in the computer memory in the form of variables. So whenever you have to create a variable, first you have to choose the right data type. Data type is the type of the container. If you want to give me water, you choose the tumbler, a glass. If you want to give me tiffin, you select a plate. So before declaring a variable, now you have to choose one of the types which is appropriate for the variable. This is the logic behind it.